So yes, we are live. Hi, all. I welcome you to Layer 5's weekly websites meeting. This would be, I guess, the second websites meeting for the month. Yep, it is. And we are here with, a hands-on session on Systent, how you can set it up locally and how to, make changes to the code base to add more components. So one of the contributor, Hers, who has been active in this area, they, will be taking us through. We also have a couple of agenda items that we will be talking about. So these are open issues and PRs from you. So yeah, feel free to add any of the items that you're working on and need help, or you want to get some feedback, or simply you have any enhancements proposal, you also can drop them all down into this Google Docs. What I will do is once again share with you all this meeting minutes. So if you by any chance rejoined or have just joined, you do have access to the meeting minutes. With that, we'll be following our tradition, and that is if we have any newcomer on the call today, go ahead and give your quick intro.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I have to rename myself. Just give me a minute.
So thank you, for joining the call, Belgium. And yeah, so that's fine. You can
One
introduce yourself
minute.
and then later can change to your real name. Now it's cool, like Siva Prasad. So yeah, welcome to the call.
Hi, I'm Shiv Prasad Rao, final year BTech CSS student from KIT University. Earlier I was into AI/ML, but currently I have shifted to that full stack developer.
That's totally
Yes.
awesome. Do you
And this
also
is my
mind?
first time for in this open source contribution, so hoping to learn from you guys.
Totally. So that's really great. And I do think that we will be making some call for volunteers for you to get started. Do you by any chance mind, letting us know about your tech stack? So the technology that you're most comfortable in?
So about the language, yes, I am comfortable with Python, JavaScript, and TypeScript. I do know C, C++, and the stack I majorly worked with that React, one stack basically.
Yeah, so that's great because
And I have
the
worked with Postgres and
awesome. So I was looking for React and TypeScript, and you definitely have got that. So in fact, the session that we'll be having, it also will involve familiarity with TypeScript and some React knowledge. So I think you also can participate in this. So once again, thank you for your intro, Shiv Prasad.
thank you, Vinay.
Next up, I think we have Aditya, who is joining us for the very first time. If that's yes, you can go next.
Hi, my name is Aditya Raj, and I am currently in first year pursuing computer science, AI/ML, and my tech stack is JavaScript, Java, and currently I'm learning React along with database of MySQL.
That's just great, Aditya. So, and if I'm not wrong, you also have a couple of open PRs on the very
Yes.
first side that we're discussing. And I see that you already have added that, so that's really great. And if there's anything missing, you also can go ahead by writing them yourself. So that would help us take a look at them.
Okay, sir.
So thank you for your intro, Aditya.
Thank you.
Next up, I'll quickly ask if I think Varad, you can go next.
Hello. Hi everyone. Myself Varad. I am an third year undergrad student. I have been into open source for the past 2 years. Last time I participated in GSOC and I contributed to stdlib, but unfortunately my project was not selected. And for this time, I'm contributing to Meshery for the same. I have my tech stacks include backend engineering, JavaScript, TypeScript, and I work with Docker a lot. So yeah, looking forward to contributing to Meshery.
We too. So we too look forward to having you contributing to the project. So that's an awesome intro. Thank you for joining the call, Bharat. I think that is all for the newcomers. Did I miss anyone? If yes, please go ahead and give your intro. All right, so yeah, and know that you also can use chat. So just in case I missed anyone, you can go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat, and I'll be sure to welcome you, making you feel welcomed into this call. So that is all for the newcomers, folks. We will now be moving to the very first item, and that's a session on Systent. So Harsh, who is also one of the co-hosts and has been very actively contributing into Systent, Meshri UI, and many other areas. He will be taking us through what's Systent, how you can set it up locally, and how you can make changes to it. He will also be touching on how to work on documenting Systent components. So components that are already part of the project, how you can then document onto a particular section in the site. So hopefully we will now be listening from Harsh. Harsh, are you all set? Or do you need some time for us to be circling back?
Yeah. No, we'll start it right away. Hello,
Yep, Harsh.
everyone. My name is Harsh. Currently, a short introduction about me. I'm a full stack developer currently working at MAK Softwares. I have been the part to Meshri from the past 2 to 3 weeks. So I will give a short, basically a precise overview how you can contribute to Systent. So first of all, to the new folks who have been joining to the meeting for the first time and who do not have any information about Git and GitHub. So basically what you can go to this particular repository, Systent, basically you can go here. What you can do, I will be sharing this link in the chat as well. So you can create a fork over here, and a copy will be created of this particular repository. The code base is here. So a copy will be created to your account and you can just clone it to your local machine. And I will give you some instructions that are being mentioned in the documentation that you and the system will play. So first of all, let me introduce what Systent is. So whenever you will be contributing to this particular layer 5 or Meshri, what you will see that multiple components are repeated. Basically, there are some components layer 5 there are as well. So we do not need to create those in both of these repos. So what we planned was we created a different repositories known as Systent. So there we can create a component at one place and we can use that all those components are multiple repositories. So basically it is the clustering of the component at a single point, and we can use all those where so basically you can read more about this particular Systent about here. So whatever I have shared you here, Systent is a project basically of type. So it has things. So suppose I want the colors, whatever I'm using should be consistent in all over my project. So you can read it about here, see how these colors are there. So basically what type of colors, suppose I want the background white color, so how I can use it over here. So here are multiple things, spacing that I want, spacing should be consistent in the project as well, typography as well. So apart from this, there are one more thing, this component. Suppose I want to use a backdrop component. So this component I can use in layer 5 as well, in Systent as well, and in any repository that I want. So first of all, how to basically, I have shared how you can fork of this particular repository of Systent. I've shared
So,
the
sorry to
GitHub
interrupt, Harsh.
link.
I'll just quickly confirm if it's just for me or for others too that your voice is sometimes breaking.
Yes,
Can anyone come?
yes,
Yes.
Yeah, it is
So
breaking sometimes.
maybe we can try going a little slower so that Harsh, if that's fine.
Okay.
Or you can also
Let
turn off
me
your videos
share
if
you
that
one thing.
helps. Yeah, if you turn off your videos, that might help.
Hope now my voice is not breaking.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay. So back to the topic. We were discussing about System. So basically, what you can do, you can just navigate here to the layer 5 and layer 5 GitHub, and you can find this repo here. So will do UV project will be generated to your locally, and for me it has already been generated, so I will not be following the step. So just you want to click this button, and you can what you can do, you can just clone this particular thing in your local machine. So after creating this particular thing in your local machine, so what you can just set it up. So here are some documentation which has been mentioned in this particular repository as well. So for for just setting it up, you just need to run this command, this setup. So it is being mentioned in the make file as well. So what you can do is you can just navigate to this make file. So in this make file, we have all the commands that we need. So if I just want to repository, what I will do, I will just write a command make package setup, and this command will be run. Now what I can, so, and let me give a brief overview that how this all this code has this repository. So here what you can go to source directory and directory. In the base directory, you can see all the component repo. So these components are being created in the system, and here you can also go. So what we have done, we have migrated from font
think-
awesome to
Sorry
our
to
system
interrupt,
Titan.
Harsh.
So basically,
I think your voice is dropping in between. And I'm not sure at this point if it's really making sense to all the folks who are here who may be very new. So let me get feedback from all the audiences if you are able to understand what Hers is sharing, or we need to do something about it. Since Sudhanshu is also here, and I don't want to put Sudhanshu on a spot, but Sudhanshu, do you mind carrying the walkthrough if that's all right by you? So basically, we're talking about System, how folks can get it, running locally, and how then, like, basically giving an overview on System, if you're all set up. If not, that's fine.
Sure, it will not take that much time. Just a second.
In the meantime, thanks a lot, Harsh. So since your bandwidth is causing a little trouble, we will try, by the maintainer Sudhanshu walking us through the System.
Yes,
Yeah, no issues.
just give me a second. Okay. Okay, so I guess Harsh was speaking on system icons, if I'm not wrong. So we'll get back to that once
Yeah,
I
and
give
even
up.
before that, he was talking about when someone has cloned the repo locally, how they can go about installing all the command like packages, and then how they can get it running. So you don't need to be showing that how they can run it in terminal and then have it build up, but simply you can take them through the commands that are there that they need to set up.
Yeah, sure. For a quick, then we already have a meeting had like 1 or 2 weeks before where I just showed how you can install locally and use those. So I'll just quickly give an introduction for System. So we already have this System repo, and this is where we all dump our usable components and base components and everything. So if you want to install this project in your locally and test if you're adding any new components, colors, you have to just when you do a change, you have to just run npm uh, run build. So it will build the changes. And when you are in, like, for example, if you are having, I just take my example. if you can see. Yeah. So you can see system is here, and yeah. So if I build something new changes in this repo in this project, so I want to test in machine. So I just use this the path structure npm install dot like how you give a path. You have to just come to this assistant and just install it as you do for other packages npm. There is a readme in this here, so you just scroll. Yeah, npm install and path to your system or local machine. What is your path based where you are installing? So there is already a meeting we already had. So you have to just go through that, and there is just use commands manually to test. Okay, so now if you come to system here, so all system components, I would not say all because there are few more needed to be added. There are issues, bunch of layer 5 you can see. So you have to just add more those components, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You have to just go through this layer 5, sorry, the system repo. There are all base components and uh, custom components added. First, we have to display all or publish all these base components, then will come custom. It's a later thing. But this base components need to be all go through the and display accordingly. So if you are adding system icons, basically, I saw you are just inserted this in inside the components, but it shouldn't be because icons are the different things. So you had to add a separate here path which is icons, components and icons. And when you do that, click there, you can show what you are showing, right? So that would make more sense. You don't insert inside it. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you,
And
but
yeah.
so in the last meeting, I did the same, but Vivek and me to create those icons section in component only.
Okay,
So,
I am
Shant,
not aware.
yeah, basically, instead of having a different icons section, in addition to those three already that are there, we took a look at what MUI does, and they have these icons under components. So, I mean, majority of the folks on the call were of the opinion that we should have icons inside components, just like MUI does. So it has components, and inside that they have icons there.
Okay, if you are following that approach, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, then it makes sense. I was thinking to have it here. Okay, if you're doing Ash, then it's good. You can ignore going that review. But don't add system icon, just add icons. You are added system icon as an icon. So yeah, Vivek is right. If you're following MUI approach, then we should follow this path structure also. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, Amit to check his PR, how he's using a copy, just clicking and you're copying the input. So it was some delay in the tooltips. So it was looking a delay in the UI. So yeah, just quick info for information. I've seen that, but yeah, you guys are looking into it. So to check that also. Okay, yeah. Any anything needed from me? Sure, Vivek.
Yeah, so I think we discussed a couple of things. What Systent, and you also mentioned that we had previous sessions on Systent that folks can refer to. So I'll make sure that I share those links. But TLDR, first we discussed what Systent, where folks can find it, how they can set it up locally, and we did not cover it at length. But suffice to say that you can refer to the README and all the instructions that are there. They work. So once you get the project running locally, then you can take a look at it, all the components that are there, and also it has instructions on if, let's say, you make any changes to an assistant component and you want that to reflect into Mesh UI. So how then you can build the component and then test it. There are like instructions for them in the README, as well as a discussion forum post that Harsh just shared in the chat. Apart from this, there is a different kind of items that we talked about, and which is documenting various existing system components onto the page that you were looking at. So on the site, we have a dedicated section for system components where we need to have user guidance, and that page we were taking a look at. I'll be sharing the link. So it would be helpful if you could once make a call for volunteer, and that is what exactly Sudhanshu is doing. So, yep.
Yeah, and also okay, there is other issues with system label, and there is all the components that I showed just right now. And if you will find all those components under base and assistant, and check out which are been published and which are not. So you can see few assignees over here. So most probably they are not working on it, they just assigned themselves. So just call yourself out that you want to work on it and make them quick because they are pretty straightforward. You have MUI already over there, some descriptions. Just don't copy the whole description. Just take a overview of it and use it in layer 5 system. Because and since description is already available and your components are already in use, so it's not that much tough to add those components. But yeah, if you go to these issues, there are pretty much more needed. Like tooltips is already there, so yeah. But yeah,
So
there are more tables and toolbars. Yeah.
if I can ask, so as a newcomer, I have questions, and that is what technology that I will need to be familiar with in order to write these documentation for these components. Can you help with that? Like, what would be the technology that?
Yeah, great. But most probably there are already merged, so you would not require that much like experience since it's Gatsby. So you just required some React or JavaScript knowledge, and it's pretty much straightforward. Components are already in use. You have to just import it. And if I go, yeah. So you have to just follow the merged all the components which are already been merged. You have to just add a component, just a blob here, right, and an object which component you want to add, and just normal React components. So Gatsby is nothing different, it's just a React running top of it. Yeah. So basically, you just required a JavaScript knowledge, and if you are working on system, then you require TypeScript if you are adding something. But yeah, most probably will not require because you are adding documentation. In case you are required to add something, change in system to create an issue, yeah, there you would require a TypeScript knowledge. But that is also not much deep. Things are pretty much straight and everything is already been defined. If you are adding, making changes, it will be pretty simple. So just all about React, JavaScript and type JavaScript mostly. And if you are doing in system, that's TypeScript. Yeah. But yeah, Vivek, we have already a meeting for installing and how to use system. So I was thinking if we can trim that part or we can something add in the README that video link also of YouTube. So yeah, people will
Yeah,
uh,
note
do
that.
it directly.
I'll note that down as an action item, and we'll be following up on that. That's a great session. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Sudhanshu, for saving the day, and thanks to hers as well. And by the way, I've just dropped a link to all the open system documentation items, so you can take a look at that. We will now be going over some standing agenda item, and the very first would be on MDX migration. So I'll be quickly sharing this link, and we'll see if Sudhanshu has any progress to share, or if he simply can tell about it so folks who want to help can help. Or Sudhanshu, if you want me to go over it, that's also fine.
Yeah, I can go over it, but yeah, I'm not actively working on it because some other things that I'm working on. So yeah, you can share so I can tell.
All right, that's great. So folks, in this site, that is Layer 5 iOS site and the repository that we are right now in, it's a Gatsby based site, and we have many content in form of Markdown. Now to render that Markdown into the React HTML CSS on the web page, we need this plugin, that is MDX plugin. And we recently went overhaul on the version upgrade on Gatsby. And now the MDX version, plugin version that we currently use is no longer compatible with that. So we are using this legacy peer dependency flag to make sure that these two incompatible systems work. But basically, we'll need to be, updating the MDX plugin as well. So this is an effort in bumping off the version for MDX. And so there has been some progress made in here. And if you would want to help, yeah, it's a help wanted area and a call for volunteers. So for that, I'll be quickly dropping this link in chat. There's much context around it on like what major changes had to be done and what things to test out before you simply can mark it as, ready for review. So yeah, Randy, then Sudhanshu have been some contributors looking into it. So if you need any help or if you have any clarifications or like questions, you also can drop them into this GitHub thread itself. So I think that's all that we need to talk about MDX migration. Sudhanshu, any point from you?
No, yeah, you have mostly shared everything, but yeah, since we are migrating this required from V3 to V5 actually, and under the hood, it's already also been migrating from MDX, the main version of MDX, which is MDX, we use it from V2 to V3. So it's a separate thing, which we don't have to migrate manually. It's been already in this plugin. So it's although there are a bunch of MDX related plugins, Lima, AI, so that's not a big thing to discuss. But yeah, so if you are seeing 1300 file changes, so don't get stressed out with that, since we are using heavily MDX files for our events, resources, blogs. So there are many syntax changes over there. So maintaining that lint changes make them 1300. Most probably will not do directly from here when working on it, because there are integration files which are MDX. So here the layer 5, when you go through different integrations, the informations are coming actually from MDX pages, and there are like thousands of integrations under components. So yeah, that's why you are seeing those number of file changes. Eventually, this will be changed at one place from meshDCTL. So you might not see those number of file changes, but yeah, eventually it would be like near about 100 to 200. But yeah, this is we need to migrate, since there are some issues you might be seeing when you are building layer 5, that API validation. So those are all coming from this plugin. Though those are not harmful, but yeah, we require to migrate since we are already migrated to S. So currently, I'm not able to track this because there are some other work I'm currently involved with. So if anybody is want to chime in, please let us take over this PR, or I'll help actually when I get time. So if you need any help from my side, I'll definitely come.
Yeah, thanks, Sudhanshu. So we'll wait for 5 seconds if there's anyone who wants to help. All right, so know that since I've already shared the link in chat, you also can take a look at it and then later sound off if this is something you'd want us to help on. Next up, as a standing agenda item, I'll just simply be sharing about this one item, and that is publishing more cloud native apps to Mystery Catalog. So let's quickly share the link in chat. And since it has all the descriptions, we will not be going through it, but basically on various places that we have the catalog, we want it to populate with more high quality designs, filters, and models. So once again, link to all of these are in this description. So that is something you will figure out eventually. And next up, this is once again an item on a catalog and basically creating more starter templates. So any UI or even applications grade project, they provide you with something to get us started and not doing it from the very scratch. So since we also have a visual tool to do all sorts of things in Cloud Native, this is a call to volunteer for making some starting template. So once again, I'll be sharing this link in chat, and these also have detailed descriptions. So hopefully that will help you out. If not, you can also come into clarify anything that you want to. We will finally be moving on to our very first site. That's the Layer 5 IO site. Once again, like it's a Gatsby site. The link to the site is in chat, and we will first cover these two items from hers, hoping that his bandwidth is better right now.
So if you don't mind, can you kindly navigate for me?
Yep, sure. Yep, hers. Hopefully it's visible, right? Harsh,
Yeah.
we cannot hear
So
you.
whenever
Harsh, like, you can try speaking now.
okay, can you kindly go to this particular issue?
Yep.
6.2.
Yeah, there we are.
So what happened here was basically when you will see this video, when you will click on the button group, the button portion will be highlighted as well. So what I did was I fixed that particular. There were multiple issues navigating to the next pages as well. But I have fixed that particular issue in the next PR as well. So whenever you are navigating to the next pages, the order was not maintained. Basically, if I want to go to the next particular component, that particular order was not maintained. So I have fixed that particular issue as well in the next PR.
All right, so for this one, let me quickly share this link in chat. And your next PR is onto this list only, right? So it's 6
Yeah.
to get it. This is it, right?
Yeah. So in got
So I think we'll have
multiple
to. All right, Harsh, I think I can take it from here. So basically, like we talked in the earlier, in the beginning of the meeting, Harsh is working on to add a different section for icons in Systent project, like Systent documentation that we have, and that's at this place. So project/Systent, and inside components, Hers, I think, has added icons somewhere. So backdrop, box, model, Systent icons. Yeah, so I think this is the page that Hers was working on, and I'll be dropping the link in chat, and we'll invite any feedback or suggestions from anyone. One that come to my mind is Sudhanshu mentioning that we should not be doing Systent icons, rather just the icons. So if that's a valid suggestion, do let me know, Sudhanshu. And also there are these icons. Once again, something that we talked about was this greenish stroke on all these icons. And I think we finally decided that it's coming from Systent itself. So nothing from on Hers's part, but if you could once confirm Hers. Like these icons having this green sort of thing.
Yes, Vivek, Vishal, it was coming from Systent as well.
All right. Any feedback for Hers? Sudhanshu, you were also mentioning about copying.
Yeah. I'm just curious that is this the right thing? If you go below, like all the icons, when we are clicking, if you click one of the icons, yeah, it said copied. So is it type of UX we need? Like this, we wanted to copy the import icons. So yeah,
I think
that's
this is
the
a
thing
feedback
to.
that,
Yeah.
I think this is a feedback that last time was offered to Hers. So featured in order to be able to, copy the code for that icon.
I wonder like how MUI does. It clicks, opens some model. So
Yeah, I'm trying
that
to open
don't have
some.
that much of variations of icons. Okay.
So they don't have this like, on clicking the copy feature, but basically they provide you with a code block.
One thing we can do, which let me know if others have agree on that. So when you hover on one of the icons, just yeah, this tooltips can have a copy icon, which can copy the same instead of clicking the icon itself. So let me know if anybody has any other suggestions. But yeah, because then we can stay the tooltip until it's been copied. Because a user or anybody want to see what's they have been copied. So that's why.
Yeah, and like in future, just like MUI does, if we would want to, have some other behavior on clicking, like presenting various form, like the version of the icons. So then I think what you're
Yeah,
saying,
but yeah. Just sorry for interruption, but yeah, we don't have that variations of icons. So having a different model or like MUI doesn't make sense. We can keep it simple. Just copy icon on the tooltips. But yeah, feel free to add any feedbacks.
yeah, so I'll wait for others' feedback. And yeah, like the one thing that we can do is hers, when someone like, hovers over it, we present them with the tooltip, and if they click on the tooltip, everything is selected, and like whether we should have a copy button or not, that like I'll be waiting for feedback, but definitely we can, once someone clicks on the tooltip, we can select all the text and then it's on to them if they want to copy or not. But yeah, I'll wait for any feedback from anyone on the call.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if we hover on and the tooltip was appear, and we don't do like the only copy by the copy button, but if we click on the text and the copy button, it should copy. Like in the MUI, as we see, if we click on the text, it as well copy the whole thing. So yeah, because
Yeah,
going to the copy icon button from the tooltip, it was so hard. It was sometimes it's hard. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a helpful feedback to hers. Anything else that anyone would want to offer their thoughts on? Also, like, by any chance, do we know, Sudhanshu or Amit, if this is something that's desired, or if you're looking to fix this, like the green stroke, or it's just something normal?
This shouldn't be coming like this green stroke. Like Harsh, if you are working on it, do check why it's coming. If it's coming from assistant to create a issue, describing why is it like maybe. But yeah, we already using I guess in Meshri, in other remote provider packages like cloud. So I don't think so. We face this border issue there. Yeah, but why I don't know why it's coming. This layer 5 bit specifically.
All right, I think that's all. Just one more
Do
thing.
use sorry. Uh, I guess there are two theme providers, system theme provider, and there is one more. Uh, okay, I'll add that comment in your PR only to step for others. Yeah.
Thank you, Sudhanshu. Also, one quick thing, and that maybe like, you can do, like you can enhance bit later, but just to maintain the consistency on other components, we have like overview, guidance, and code. And for assistant icons, this is one, just no tab, just one page guidance. So maybe like you can, segregate in terms of guidance and code and stuff on the same page instead of having tabs. But I think we should be consistent, Harsh, if that's something you would look into. So yeah, folks, I will be now dropping this link in chat. If you want to take a look at it later, please do. Let's move on to the next item from Tanishq, and I'll be quickly taking a look if we have Tanishq on call. And looks like we're missing them, so we will be skipping this item, but we'll quickly share the PR for maintainers to take a look at and offer their feedback. Then we have this nav bar fixing from Aditya, and yep, Aditya was on the call previously. Let's take a look. Yeah. So Aditya, do you mind going next, sharing your screen and letting us know the fix that you have done? And it's always better to give some context on the issue too.
Okay. Uh, is my screen visible?
Yep. Yes.
Wait a second. So earlier, the main page of layer 5, as you can see the nav bar, when we scroll, it just move upside, right? It is not fixed there. You guys are able to see the screen, right?
Yep. And we're also able to see the two footer there.
So to fix this issue, it was just a simple code of CSS. I did write position sticky. Earlier, I did write fixed, but uh, I had a conversation with Falgun and he ensured that I clarify my mistake. So yeah, I fixed that.
What you are fixing? Like,
This CSS portion of navigation. Earlier, it was not there. So the
no,
navigation.
what was the issue? I just missed.
The issue was that this navigation bar was scrolled when we were scrolling. So
Okay, and this was happening only around this instant.
no, in layer 5.
Also,
For
like
exa-
if you could once take a look at the mobile, if you open that link in mobile,
for example, in Mishri, the navigation bar is ticked right up there when we scroll, right? But this is an issue with layer 5. So to fix that, I just write a, where is that? Sorry.
No, like, is it by design, Vivek, or this is a feature we want? Like, the position neighbor should be sticky.
I'm
Sorry
also
for
not sure.
interruption. There was a conversation where Lee told me to track it down that when this navbar was made, this property changed, and the navbar was the sticky property was removed for some reason because there were some it was causing issue with some other components of the page. But when I tracked it down, I noticed that those components that were used uh, for which the sticky property was removed, those components are itself removed. And now we can use the sticky property to make the navbar sticky. And uh, so we get the desired behavior because we need navbar to be sticky for easier navigation.
Can I stop my screen share?
Yeah, so just one feedback, and that is if you once open that deploy preview link in mobile, it doesn't work really well. Like this header doesn't stick forever, like whenever you're scrolling up above the page. So I think some enhancement is needed into that regard in mobile.
Earlier, when I write the code fixed right here, so it was working, but I don't think so. This sticky thing is working on mobile.
Yeah, so that's what if you could take a look and fix it as well, because the issue is tracking that right, that exactly right, Falgun.
Yes,
For
yes.
us to be having a sticky header in both mobile and desktop mode.
I'll make sure to to fix it for mobile as well.
Yeah. Any other feedback or thoughts for Aditya? All right, then I'll go next by sharing my screen once again. And yeah, next up we have some items from Falgun himself. So do you mind taking the stage, Falgun?
Okay. So there are two agenda items. One of them is like fixing hydration errors. So in this PR, I made some changes to the code base, specifically to the select component. In the select component, there are like in index.js, we were using like list for list icons, and this like you can see that. So basically, the problem was that in say there were some console errors related to this. Like we were having this named export of section name and header component in our index.js. So I moved them to a separate file by creating header.js and section nav.js, and uh, also that I noticed that these components can be reused in other places, like uh, in every component that we are implementing in layer 5 system section. It uses this like section nav thing. We are like rewriting this at every places, because let's say uh, if we go to so this particular thing is like a section navigation overview guidance input, and it is used in like every component. So for reusability, also it is better to have it separate, and we can like modify it or generalize it for every component. The logic of generalization, I will be like creating other PRs for that, but this can be reused. Also, the header can be reused just by passing like what contents need to be passed, so that header remains consistent. All this main parts of the component remain consistent across all the components.
If you once go to component seo.js,
Component dot
seo.js there,
uh,
if you, yeah, third from, yeah, so like above, yep,
okay.
yep, there. So,
So
like,
yes.
can you explain? Yeah.
So in this thing, sorry. So I noticed a warning I noticed a warning in console that this default props are like deprecated, like will be deprecated soon, and therefore I provided the value itself in like this where we are passing the props. So default values can be given, and therefore we do not need this section.
Then you also did check out by building the site and also looking if the metadata and description and title is working for, correctly for all the pages. And you can check that by, when you are building the site and you are on any particular page, you can click on, you can press CTRL-U, and that takes you to the source. And in there, you can look for metadata about the, description and title. So have you checked that, if that's working fine?
Not exactly. I will go ahead and check it. We'll make sure it works. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is like totally fine, but we would want to make sure that we don't break any open graph preview. So I'll also be taking a look at it. Yeah.
Okay. Also, one more warning from the console. Like we were using an li tag, like in the previous version, like we were using.
Yeah, list item.
Yes, we were like nesting list items, which is not allowed. Like we cannot use li inside an li. We have to make a separate list by wrapping the li into the ul, or maybe. And also we were having one anchor tag inside a link tag, which makes like anchor inside anchor, and therefore it was not like working well and was giving errors. And this was causing the main hydration issue because it is not allowed. And so after like resolving it, it works perfectly fine, and there is no hydration error. And
So the
also
issue about
the
having two footers consistent, is that also gone now after this PR?
yes, it was also due to this hydration error only.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, so and one other thing, like agenda item 2 is like the univit and secondary props. I want like some further clarification on this because I noticed it is used like let me yes. So when I searched across, I got like sometimes it was used with like only univit, and sometimes it is used with dollar univit. So I want to know that is it that both the implementation of univit are correct, or is it that only one of them is correct?
So basically this can be verified, and that is you can navigate to the particular component and take a look if what the UI is trying to do, whether or not it's reflecting. So for example, if you go to component contact card, do we see a button that is of nature? So it's a univit, but it's if we pick an example that says secondary, if we take example of secondary button somewhere, so then we can know whether or not it's working as intended. But as far as I have, like in my experience, that dollar prop is needed for us to be able to make it a primary or secondary button. So if you once pick a so for example this event that has 2024 KubeCon one.
Yes. So these are buttons that are using no dollar signs, but there are buttons where dollar secondary is used, and it is working fine. But I think that using this only secondary does not serve any purpose, maybe because
Yeah, so I meant to ask if without like dollar, does it work? Does it have a button which is of secondary nature, like having a blue, I guess, color?
need to make sure I
So like we have two, we have I think 3 or maybe 4 type of buttons that you can take a look into contributing guide. So primary, secondary. So if without dollar it's working fine, then we will need to be consistent. We either will be using the dollar or will not be using the dollar at all. But if it's not working without the dollar, then we'll make sure that everywhere we are passing prop, we are using dollar as a prefix. Does that make sense?
I'll confirm. Yes, I'll confirm it. Okay.
Yeah, so
So
just a heads up that like at multiple places without the dollar, it does not work when we migrated from Gatsby previous version to newer version. So yeah, that would be helpful if you come back with an answer.
okay, sure. So that was it from my side.
Thanks a lot, Falgun. Any other thoughts or feedback for Falgun? I think not. So thanks a lot again. We have this stack component documentation item from Karan. So Karan, are you there on the call? Yep.
Okay. Okay. That seems to be something. Yeah. So this is the stack component documentation. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is the basic usage, the guidance and the code here. So I have considered 3 cases like the horizontal stack, vertical stack, and the alignment. So this is the pull request.
If you once go to overview.
Okay. Yeah.
So we would ideally want to have a little more detail than just the basic uses and item 1, item 2, item 3. Is this still a work in progress, or like it's final from your side?
No, this is like a work in progress. I just wanted to show that like this is my first time documenting the component, so like this is the way to do it, right?
Yeah, so you can take inspiration from the previous existing components.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if like the more we are helpful is, the more is it's better. So yeah, a little more
Okay.
detailed than just any other thoughts or feedback.
All right, sure. So I'll add a more detail on the overview part and the guidance part. And the other one was, as mentioned, at the start of the meeting to add this. Okay, so this has already been merged. Basically, I added the assistant sessions in the contributing.md in assistant repo. Yeah. So that's all from my side.
That's really helpful, and thanks a lot for doing that, Karan.
Yeah.
So folks, I think this is it. We are on time now. And I thank you all for participating and attending the call. Hopefully, if you're working on any item, we will be, hearing from you on your work next Monday. So this is a weekly meeting, and we meet every Monday to talk about all the work on websites, UI, UX, and design system. And hopefully, we'll also be having a different hands-on session next Monday. So we will work on that. But yeah, thanks. And before we end the call, I will be quickly sharing with you the meeting calendar. So your interests may be, in other part of the technology or projects too. So we have these weekly meetings that you can be part of and can pick up the, work that you are interested into. So I'll leave the, link in chat, and you also can find that on the site. With that, I'll see you all next Monday. Till then, bye everyone.